Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're going to look at GoPro, Apple, Bidu, Twilio, Chtr, Baba, Ntes. Oh, I can't wait to talk about this one. But let's go to the weekly. Let's take a quick look at the daily. So again, if you take the high here, that's where we have the fib. I think I'm going to, well, no, I'm going to leave it there. We're at the 618 here. Again, we talked about this a couple days ago, or about a week ago, that we're setting up in a bearish pattern. It's coming down. This area right here is going to be very important to hold on GoPro. We've been chopping around for 4 days now in a bearish consolidation, and it's trying to hold, trying to hold. If this area breaks, we're going to gap fill right around 11.55. The SPY and the IWM starts to dump. I think we're heading right towards 10 bucks again, and that's the bottom line for this one. But let's, you know what? Let's cut this a little bit shorter here. Let's do the fib on this low to this high. So, yeah, we're holding the 5.0. Okay, so yeah, all right, gap fill 11.55 is a 618. So that is going to be a good area of support. But if this goes sideways in a bearish manner, it's going to be lights out, and we're definitely going to go to the 10.54. Then I think it's the $10 even number area. This area on GoPro needs to hold, period. Someone mentioned that Monday they got something going on, some news or something, but that could possibly save it. But that could be a short-term bounce, get everybody long again, and then it turns around, market sells, they dump in your face. That's what these guys do. So if you're short, I would hold on. Let's see if we could get down to at least the 1183 area, the 20 MA on the weekly. If this does not hold, we're going to $10. Pretty simple. Monthly chart's still ugly. It bearish inside bar needs to get over the 2038 area. If it doesn't, if it keeps consolidating like this, next leg down is going to be 850 or 862 all-time low and possibly lower. News is the only thing that can save this stock, period. Because if the SPY and the market start to dump, see you later. It's going down. Sorry, guys. Apple. Apple, again, another stock that's news driven. This thing hasn't moved in months. And all of a sudden, the iPhone 7, they have record amounts of sales and pre-orders and blah, 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 and everything else they could throw out there to get this thing up. But honestly, here's your pivot. And we talked about this, 112.13. Then you had the gap fill right around 113.12. Gosh, it just missed it. And you know what? I went short on a day trade here. We did cover half. Let's see if we can get a little more tomorrow. But my gosh, if you're not going short on gap fill and this double top and these pivots up in here, as a technical trader, you have to do it. So it pulled it back a little bit. Gosh, I would have loved it to close right below the 110.21 area. But we'll look at this tomorrow. Right now, if you're a bull, protect this one. The SPY and everything starts to dump. This is going to go right back down to here and possibly come in to fill the gap around 96.68. If you're bullish, you need to get over these highs. And then with confirmation, then I think in maybe 16 bucks, you have a gap fill up here. Then ultimately maybe around 120. And I believe that's a gap fill right around 120.64 if it gets there. If it gets there and you're long, you better take your profits or lock it in with a tight stop. Just be careful. Like again, it's a market trade. It was a pause day, but this one had news. Weekly chart. Weekly chart, it did take off. We talked about the 112 area. Here we are, right back into it. 112, gap fill. Almost filled the gap today. Came right back down. We closed below these highs here. It's still bullish, but it's going up on news. This thing chopped around for months, doing nothing. Now, the iPhone 7 is the best thing in the world. You know, they say that all the time. Of course it's going up. And then again, right back down with the market. See if the market's dump. Here's the big test though, guys. This is the monthly chart. This is an inside bar bearish pattern. They are trying to get it above this area. They did today, but until the end of the month comes, it needs to close above the inside bar, the 20 MA, and this blue line at the 750 retrace, which is 115 if you want this one to keep moving up. And then ultimately you have 120, this big breakdown bar. That's going to be the next test. This is where a lot of the bag holders were in here. As this thing popped up, consolidated, they hyped it up, the Christmas season, this and that, and then they slammed it. So everyone who bought up here is stuck up here. So if this thing makes it up into this area, all these bag holders are hopefully going to be sellers and just take their break even and say thank you very much. That's Apple. Let's look at Bidu. Bidu, flat day, 28 cents up. Still trying to get above this big trend line, upper trend line. Trying. these guys are doing the best they can. This one was another one that we had a massive launch, just like Nettie's. This is typical. Launch it for 3, 4, 5 days. All the big money writes puts while all this dumb money's buying up here going, oh, how high can this go? We were watching this trend line. I mean, look at this trend line coming back from 2014. Goes right into it, gets above it, everyone gets giddy, topping tail, and then they slam it in their face. Now we have a bearish pattern starting to develop. And today, look at that. We popped it up, came right back in. So what we're looking for on here, a close below 181.26. Then I think we can go down, hit the 20 MA again, and possibly steer step down, as well as the SPY IWM and everything else is starting to sell off. And we're right in that time frame, guys. So be very, very careful if you are long. Weekly chart, same thing. Had a nice little topping tail. We keep making lower highs. That is bearish as well until we crack this one or this one here. It's still in bear mode. Then this breakout, fake out, brought it right back down. This was another big breakdown bar. So all the people who bought right here, this thing went up. So they were like, holy cow, I got a couple bucks. I'm going to dump and take the profit. Came right back in. Now we're looking for the weekly close below this topping tail here. It's not a true topping tail, but it's a topping tail in this general area. We're looking for a close below the low on this candle, and then we'll reevaluate in the week to come, weeks to come. Again, bigger time frame monthly, came right into here. Now we're right on top of the 20 MA. If this thing closes below on the monthly, or maybe even causes a little tail here, then we'll reevaluate and see if this thing can move down a little bit more. But again, I mean, look at that. Down, up into the trend line, up into the trend line, up into the trend line. And then every time it gets rejected. So you got to be careful. Then if the SPY, like I said, I know I sound like a broken record. If the SPY and everything else starts to sell, all these stocks are coming in. It's a market trade. Twilio. We took this one short. We covered half the other day, maybe a week ago. This thing's coming in really nice. We're going to cover our last half right in here. I'm going to say maybe these pivot lows, depending on if the market starts to dump, I think we could get to 50 bucks. But if this thing comes into the trend line and these lows here, I think I might just get out. We'll see. I mean, today it was down 1.57%, so it was a heck of a trade. We took a short right up in this area here, and we're already out of half. We got to break even in, so maybe I'll try to ride this thing down to 50, but we'll see how the markets are in the next couple days to see if we cover this one. Weekly chart, there's not a lot of data on here because it's a new issue, but you know, we went up, came in, inside bar bearish pattern starting to break down. If this does break below this little pivot here, 49.56, we are definitely going lower on this one. How low? It depends on where the SPY and the IWM stop selling. If they continue to dump and dump big, I don't know. I mean, 40 bucks maybe, 618 down in here. It's going to be interesting if the markets start to dump because you have a lot of high flyers out there that shouldn't be up here, and they are because of the hype. But man, you know, look at this. This is a monthly. If this closes down in here at the 50, you got a nice little tail. You got two nice little tails. Then it went up, the bears came in, it went up, the bears came in, and if that's the case, it comes back down. You know, like I said, we could probably possibly go to 40, maybe lower, if the SPY and everything starts to dump. That's Twilio. It's a new issue. So as a technical trader, it's a little bit hard to look at because there's really nothing going on there. Chtr, this one got a nice bounce today. It was a $1.72. Well, I mean, it was okay, 0.65%. But you'd expect it. You hit these pivot highs here. You almost came into the 20. You'd expect a little bit of bounce, but we bounced right back into the 618. Now we're going down and sideways consolidation in a bearish consolidation. This thing goes sideways for another 3-4 days, maybe until next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Doing this pattern, we are definitely going to fill this gap and go to the 50 MA down here around 250 or so, 248.92. We'll reevaluate this and see what happens from there because you do have good support down in this area. You do have the gap fill, but if the markets start to dump, just like you know, all these other days, this thing's going to come in fast and furious. Weekly, that's the other thing. We're stretched from the 20 MA. It did have a nice reversal bar on the weekly. We engulfed it almost by half, so that's pretty bearish. But I want to see it close below this red bar at the end of the week, and possibly if we could get below the 259.25, then definitely we're going down in this area eventually around the 238, 239. That's if we close below this and this yellow line here. And monthly, we talked about this, another high flyer, just up and away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. 7 months, 8 months, 9 months up. Come on, it's going to be time. It's just a matter of catching it. My max move is around 276.04. We did pierce it by a couple bucks, but boom, right back in. So it's playing out really, really well. So on the monthly chart, we're looking for a close again below around 260 or so would be nice. If you need to, if you're bearish and you want this to continue on its way down. Let's look at Baba, everyone's favorite. This one was up $2, still strong. I mean, like when? I don't know where this is coming from, but again, it retraced into the 750 retrace. That's the area you look for, and we filled a gap today up here. So if the market's dumped, this one's going straight down. If you're bullish on this one, you need to get above the 104.30. Then I believe we can possibly get up into the 110 area, but there's also a big gap fill around 108.66. And then 110, these pivots, or 111, these pivots up there. So again, Baba just has a mind of its own. It doesn't really matter. I don't know why everyone's so bullish on this one, but markets break down, it's coming in. And this is their typical boom into the 20, nice retrace up into the 750, fills the gap, next leg down. This one too, you have a nice little topping tail on the weekly. Look, just like Ntes, you get a nice retrace up. Everyone goes, oh, it's going higher, haha, shorts, da-da-da-da-da. Just a retrace. Let's wait for the weekly, see where this thing is. If you're bearish, you need it to close below this bar. If you're bullish, you need it to close above the 104.30 area. If it closes in between, then we'll wait for pattern and see where this one goes. Monthly chart, again, we hit the 750 retrace up here. I think that's the end of the line. You also hit this area where you have a breakdown bar, and you have a lot of people who bought up in here who are bag holders who are starting to sell. You do have another opportunity to push it to 110. If you do, all these people who've been waiting since 2004, they become sellers and just say, you know what, I had enough. Get me out of this thing. Markets are out of control. Because next thing you know, we're stretched from the 20. This thing comes falling down, and we're back to 80 bucks again in no time. That's Baba. And then Ntes. Oh my gosh, you couldn't ask for a better play than this one today. So now you have two little topping tails on here. Classic retrace. They even brought it above this high. Everyone is, oh, it's going to 250. This is going to be great. And then, bam. This is your typical play. When you got big volume like this and it reverses and comes back in and causes a little tail the next day, maybe 80% of the time, depending on, because they're hyping this one up. They're talking about Ntes because, man, this thing's, it's undervalued. It's going to PE ratio, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Look at this. Great. My confirmation on a weekly is a close above this candle or the all-time, well, not the all-time high, around 240.31 on a weekly close. Pretty simple. We get one more tail like this, you have to short this thing. We did write some more calls up here today, and we're ready to roll with this one. Weekly, I would love to see it close below 224.06. We got 3 days left, or 2 days left. If the markets start to dump, I think we could get that. But ultimately on the weekly, this is your high pivot right here, which is 243.15. It needs to if it closes down here, the following week it needs to close above the all-time high here. That's confirmation. You get the hell out of the trade if you're short. If you're writing calls, you could probably hold on to this, because this is one that could stay up here, maybe consolidate for a couple weeks. The premium just dribbles down. You collect the premium and say thank you. Monthly chart, stretched. This is another one that needs to come in, period. I mean, right here, stretch comes in, stretch comes in, ooh, and this one's like, it's really giving the longs a reason to buy this thing. Oh man, it's gonna go up. You know what? They'll probably upgrade it to 300 tomorrow. Someone will come out and talk shit about it, and this thing will pop up again. But again, we'll add more calls or write more calls, and we'll add more shorts to it in a share position as well. Again, stretch chart. Beware of this one. This one can come in, or when it does, it's going to come in fast and furious. Price is at 153.28, the 20 moving average. That's it's stretched. It needs to come back in, period. All right, guys. Thanks for watching my videos. Hopefully I'm helping some of you guys out there understand what's going on here. The markets are a little bit crazy, so you got to hold on to your pants, and sometimes you got to sit on your hands and do nothing. If you don't understand how to read these charts, your best bet is doing nothing. Again, thanks for watching my videos. God bless. See you on the charts.